Look, I don't really think anyone's trading for Zion. So respectfully, you could request a trade to the Guangdong Tigers for all I care. You're not getting anything for Zion right now. You got to prove it. You got to prove
Maybe
that he's
not
worth
right
that money.
now.
Oh
And
yeah.
So,
don't forget,
so Zion has no market.
Who's trading for him?
If
Go ahead.
Zion came out and said, "I don't want to play New Orleans anymore," the voodoo
Mhm.
here and the gumbo here is just overwhelming, and
Yeah.
I'm at my wit's end.
Okay.
Nobody would put up anything for Zion. Nobody would want Zion.
Zion's worth more to the Pelicans than he's worth to most people, in my opinion. What are you getting for him? Zach LaVine? I don't know if you can get Zach LaVine.
no. And
I
he's
don't
on the
think-
books. This season, he's on the books for 39.5. Next year, he's on
So
the
the
books
Kings
for
don't do
42.
that.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't
they do.
know. Maybe
I
they
think
do.
I think that they do.
But why do you do that for the other Pelicans?
Let's get. Well, I was
Because
about to say,
Zion
Just to dump them?
requested out.
okay, first of all, Ron, I don't know if you remember this, but Joe Dumars gave up his unprotected lottery pick for next year. He's not moving off of Zion Williamson. That's not happening. Absolutely not. There's something going on in New Orleans that he thinks is going to work. And part of that has to do with Zion Williamson being there. And if he's not there, whatever the plan is, it's not going to work. So I'm not giving up because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think New Orleans finished next to last in the Western Conference last year. So if they finished next to last in the Western Conference last season, and they giving up an unprotected for the 2026 draft, Mars, that could very well be a top 5 pick. I'm not giving that up if I think that I'm going to be in the lottery. That's not happening at all. So if Zion requests to be traded, they shutting that down. No, they're not moving off of him. Absolutely not.
Maybe they trade him to Atlanta for that pick back
That's a good idea. Why would Atlanta give that pick back?
because they get Zion.
But you gotta trade a lot of. So what are you
I was
doing?
about to say that too.
KP plus that pick for Zion? Is that what we're talking about? You're not trading Jalen Johnson for Zion.
Yeah,
right
that
now.
would probably be the
You're
thing.
not doing that.
KP
Jalen?
in the pick. No, KP in the pick, and then like I don't know, a young guy like Kobe Buffkin or something.
Mars, to your point, I think that the Atlanta Hawks, they went all in this year. But there's a reason why they didn't. There's a reason why they didn't trade. I mean, there's a reason why they didn't re-sign Trae Young, and the reason why they didn't re-sign him because they want to see what's going on, right? If Zion becomes available, what's it going to cost? Because I can tell you right now, to your point, Mars, they're not handing him over to Atlanta for a buck. They're not handing him over to New Orleans for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. And if you think that I'm just getting my pick back, that's not going to be enough, Mars. No,
Why not?
that is not.
You said it might be a top 5 pick. Why is Zion for a top 5 pick not enough?
Okay, one of the main reasons why it's not enough is because it's for my troubles. Like you coming off of Zion, right? When you coming off of Zion, he wants out of there. I'm helping you. You ain't helping me. I already got my crew together over here. Zion gets on my crew. That's in addition to my crew. And him being healthy, that does make us better, no doubt about that. But this is definitely more to your benefit than mine. I already got my crew. I'm straight. So I'm gonna if I'm giving you your pick back, New Orleans is probably gonna want another pick. No, that's not gonna work. They're probably gonna want 2 ones, maybe even 3, something like that.
Then give him 3 ones.
But it's also gonna have to be players too.
Give him Porzingis.
I think that they got Porzingis. Does Porzingis fit better with them than Zion? And don't get me wrong, I think Zion is an unusual talent at 6'7", nice ball, real good ball handler, great playmaker. Nobody can stay in front of him. Incredible finisher around the rim. Can't really stretch the defense though. And I think that that's a major problem. Doesn't really stretch the defense very well, which is what Atlanta is trying to do. And also doesn't rebound it as much as you'd like him to. And on defense, kind of shaky. So offensively, he does help them as a bucket getter. I'm not going to argue that point. And as a ball handler. But we got a really good ball handler in Dyson Daniels, Mars. And I'm not saying that Dyson Daniels is what Zion is. I'm not saying that. No, what I am saying, though, is when Trae's off the floor and we move Dyson over to the 1, it works. So does this benefit Atlanta if they get Zion? I think it does, but I don't think that New Orleans would do that.
Chill, do you know how much pressure Zion would take off Trae?
I'd happily give up Jalen Johnson for Zion. So
happily.
No. So
I wouldn't.
To be honest.
You know what? If you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, like a diehard, please let us know. Jordan, My
Jordan
God,
killing
man.
us. He is killing us.
Jordan, good riddance.
He is killing
Hey,
us,
we
y'all.
tried and we tried and we tried. And you
Jordan
know what?
killing us.
You know what this feels like? New Orleans and Zion. We just keep trying.
It's not working. It's not working, Ron.
Every
We're trying to get a
season,
deal.
same promise. He comes in, you think it's gonna be good, and it's the same bullshit every time, bro.
I'm trying to get a deal and it's not working.
It's a
Fellas,
gimme.
and that's kind of what the list was based around. Is more so, I don't think it's more so just stars that they think will demand out, but it's them predicting what stars will be the next to just essentially be out. As we know, every season a star is traded. Like there's not an NBA season that goes by where there's not a pretty big trade, especially over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And so this is essentially ESPN's insiders predicting who will be the next star out. Zion was at the top of the list. Then it was Giannis, LeBron at 3, Ja Morant at 4, and Trae Young at 5.
So which star was traded last year? Cat was traded right before training camp started.
Kevin Durant was just traded 2 months
Kevin
ago.
Durant, was
Jimmy
just traded
Butler,
and
Luka
some
Doncic. Last year was a
buckets.
move.
Oh my God, Luka
Yes.
was traded.
Anthony
That still
Davis
doesn't
as well.
seem real. Yeah, Anthony
Yeah,
Davis was traded.
pretty
Yep.
sure. Yeah,
You notice how nobody said Jalen Green?
because he had
Well, he's
stars.
not the-
That's why.
Yeah, he's not the star caliber that those guys are.
Oh
though.
yeah,
No.
nobody said Brandon Ingram either, but
Nope.
him too.
Oh, he was traded to be
That
fair, yeah.
immediately backfired. Brandon Ingram was traded.
Yes, he was traded.
Last year was crazy, and I'm not saying like this year might not duplicate last year, and it might not come close. But I assume that one of these 5 guys would be traded. Is it safe to assume that?
I think
Who's these 5
and-
guys?
and
Oh,
here's the thing, and Mars, you can straighten me out with
Giannis
this.
ain't going anywhere, and I doubt LeBron gets traded. But
That's where I was getting to. I think Milwaukee's going to be a lot better than you guys think that they're going to be. I think that they got better with Miles Turner being at the 5. If Dame was still on the roster, nothing has changed in terms of production, in terms of them getting better. In fact, they had with losing Lopez and now replacing him with Miles Turner with a younger guy, a guy who can stretch the defense, and not having Dame on the crew. I think that they got better. I don't think Giannis is going anywhere. And I'm thinking about when you have the best player in the conference on your crew, when was the last time that happened when a guy was healthy and they did not make the playoffs? I don't remember that happening.
Kobe.
That was okay. But he wasn't.
Steph, 2021. There we
But
go.
here's the thing, though,
4
Mars.
years
They actually did make the playoffs. That bullshit play-in.
Well,
tournament.
they made the 8 seed, yeah, but
Yeah, they actually made the playoffs. That's why I don't really count that, because that bullshit play-in tournament comes in and like we won enough games to get into the play. We don't won enough games.
You got to prove yourself nowadays, Chill.
It's super corny. And Bryant, I think didn't Bryant miss like the last 20-something games of the season, and then because he got hurt in 05.
he missed towards the end of the season, yeah.
Yeah, he missed toward the end of the season, and then I mean with Jabbar, that was 50 years ago. Right. So if you got the best player in the conference, from what I've seen, when you got the best player in the conference, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to, at minimum, make the playoffs. What we do in the playoffs, I think that's something different. I think this Milwaukee Bucks team is going to be a lot better on. With them being a lot better, I don't see Giannis moving. I just don't. And they ain't trading James, or they ain't trading James for money issues. We making way more money with James on the roster than not. So
now, once again, Chill. Because the Pelicans probably make more money than Zion or with Zion than anybody they could potentially trade for him, unless they just go get a top 5 player.
Sure.
But keep in mind, though, once again, I'm going to say this again. Nobody in their right mind would have predicted that Anthony Davis would be traded last year. Luka, Jimmy Butler, probably. Brandon Ingram, probably. But if I would have brought up a list of all of these guys before last year, and I would have said, what guys do you think is going to be traded? We probably would have said maybe 2.
If you would have told me Luke was getting traded, I would have called you an idiot.
Yeah.
No, you would have told, if I would, Mars, Luka is getting moved before the season is over. At the trade deadline, Luka is getting moved. You would have told me that of all the stuff that I've ever said, this is the worst thing that you've ever said, Chill.
I would have said top 5 for sure.
This might be the worst thing that you've ever said. Of all the things that you've ever said. Mars, the Dallas Mavericks, they out.
Mars would have messed around and cut somebody out last summer.
Yeah. If I would have said to you, Mars, Luka getting traded by the deadline because Dallas is out on him. Chill, this might be the worst thing that you've ever said. Maybe. It's right there. Only said he got moved.
Yeah, he really did get traded. That's so crazy.
Well,
Like
let me ask
Jimmy,
you this,
you
bro.
could kind of see it, but Luca
Yeah.
is just nah.
Well, Penn, let me ask you this: when's the last time a player of that
Oh,
caliber
De'Aaron
was
Fox
moved?
got traded last year too, huh?
Yes,
He did, yeah.
Damn. Oh my god.
We can't hear you, Penn. But when's the last time a player
A
of
player,
that
a player of
caliber
Luca's caliber.
of that caliber was moved mid-season? And I'm thinking to myself, when have I ever seen anything like that? Like Drex got moved in the middle of the season in Portland, but Drex was in year 12 at that point, right? Here we go again. Drex was in year 12 at that point when he got moved, and he was on the other side of who he was. I'm thinking about a player of that caliber, like Luca, a top 5 player getting traded in the middle of the season.
Kevin Durant to the Suns a couple years ago.
Was that in the middle of the season, Oz? Yeah, it was, because he ended up
Yeah.
was because he ended up only playing like 8 games for Phoenix.
Jordan, if this stream fails, I sent you a link to I can help you out in a test studio if you need help with your
Okay.
audio. If you open your mouth and it's still trash.
Whoa, open my mouth. It's crazy.
No. Every time you talked, it was like our ears
was
went
wild.
crazy. So
Nah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
I
because
didn't
I had to
mind
get,
it, yeah.
Do y'all
I had
want
to
to go
get
to that back
headphones.
room?
I think you good.
Yeah.
Pause.
And
Yeah, I had to
figure that
get
out?
headphones. That's all.
Oh,
What?
Wait a minute, though.
What
My
back room?
the question. Let me rephrase the question. I said top 5. I said top 5 player. Where Luca was in Dallas, entrenched in the Dallas Maverick. He was basically dripped in
chill.
Dallas.
Ironically, the answer to your question is Anthony Davis. The last time a player of this caliber was traded was Anthony Davis, except he was traded from New Orleans to the Lakers. He was like in his he was in his mid-20s and he was an MVP candidate.
At least
But
he
with that being
asked.
said,
He requested it.
He did request.
well, not only that though, Mars. Did you think that Anthony Davis was going to be in New Orleans in year 10? Like I didn't think Luka. I thought Luka was going to be. I thought he was Dirk Nowitzki. I didn't think he was ever leaving.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
didn't.
can't tell you how long I thought AD was going to be in New Orleans. I can say I definitely thought Luke was going to be in Dallas his whole career. That was something I was kind of anticipating, but maybe there's just stuff I didn't know about, which I'm perfectly fine acknowledging. But a player of Luca's caliber not requesting to be traded and then being traded, I don't know if that's happened before.
Are we so sure that? Okay, yeah. I think what you're saying is correct. Vince Carter was not quite Luca level in 2005, but he did get traded, and according to him,
actively sought that trade out.
Hold on, Mars. New information for you. He withdrew his trade request 3 days before he got traded.
There was no turmoil in Dallas. Though,
It's true.
Luka.
It's on
I want to
record.
break up with you. Actually, I don't think I want to. And then she like, all right, since you keep going back and forth whether you want to be with me or not, you know what? Hey, to chill. I'm gonna just help you out. I'm out.
No, it's true. He withdrew it.
Yeah, but Penn, if you
Williams, Aaron Williams, and Alonzo Mourning ain't showing up, I'm not doing that trade. Okay. All I need is Vince to say I'm staying and we're good. Vince went on to be a Hall of Famer, yo. So like, I mean, stupid ass trade.
Hey, y'all got off Vince and T-Mac early.
He wasn't.
T-Mac left.
Hey,
In
Ron,
fairness.
did you see my state of the
We
art
all saw
video?
how Vince was playing to start that season, man. He was playing
on
his
the
way to
Telegram
get
chat.
traded. We seen it.
He was out.
That's
And
also
was he
a
really?
lie.
Was Vince Carter at that?
I don't know.
Was Vince
Hated
Carter at
art.
that point? Was Vince Carter at that point in 2005? As good as he was, Penn, was he at Luka level?
No, of
that
course
good?
not. No.
And that's what I'm thinking about. I don't think he was
Vince's
that
best
good.
days were like 2099 to 2001. That's like the best. That's the only time in your life where you could really tell yourself that's going to be a top 5 player in the NBA. Beyond that, it was actually a regression. There were seasons where it was a lot of offense, seasons where it was a lot of defense, but not a lot of offense with Kevin O'Neal. And then there was season after season with lots of injuries. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, was last year peak Luka? Like the way he started out the
It
season?
was 1 year removed from peak Luka. Like it was the very next season.
And it was a finals run. What, last year or the year he got traded? Well, last year he did get traded.
Last season was that peak Luka.
I think there were a couple of Vince Carter trades that emerged in like 2002. One was for Kobe, and one was, I think, centered around Dirk and Nash. This was a trade.
Vince Carter was going to get traded for Kobe?
Well,
won
allegedly,
3 rings.
the situation with Shaq and Kobe was so untenable and so unsalvageable that there was a push from some people in the organization saying, go just replace one guy with another guy. Yeah, But I guess the Raptors didn't want to do that, or the Lakers didn't want to do that, and good
No way
thing
the
they
Raptors
didn't.
didn't want to do that.
Back in 2002, it was much more of a discussion than you want to realize right now. But yeah, yeah.
Hey, and Pitt, come in here very soon. We're gonna get down to the bottom of a lot of these narratives from the 2000s. It's not gonna be today, but I promise you, we are going to dispel a lot of. Hey, chill. This is going to probably be the best episode of the summer. But but what I do want to say though, we don't really know what's gonna happen, obviously, but it's always a curveball. There always is something that just comes out of nowhere and you don't expect it. I will say, of this list, the guy I really expect to be traded, I don't think Zion will end this season as a Pelican, but he's not the number one guy on this list. I think it's Ja. I think the writing is on the wall for Ja, and I'll say LaMelo too. I would say Ja, and you might not think LaMelo's a superstar. You guys might not think that, but I think he is a star player, and I think he's a player that could potentially be on this list of players that don't end the season with the team that they start the season with.
If we see another injury-riddled season with Ja, where we barely get how many games did I get from him last year? Like 60, maybe 60 games from him, something like that.
I think I might be a bit optimistic.
Yeah, if we get another injury-riddled season from
50.
Ja, and so I got 50 games from him. If we get another injury-riddled season from him, and with us getting another injury-riddled season from him, and they underperform or they look like they're going the other way, I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis moved off of Ja and went in a different direction. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because I'm on record saying, and I'll stand on this. I think that Oklahoma City is who Memphis was supposed to be. That's who I think that they are. And the fact that Memphis didn't turn out that way, I think Memphis isn't willing to hold on to this thing longer than possible, right? Because Ja, what are we in year 6 with Ja now? So we're in year 6. Ja has yet to give me a 65 or 70 game season. Has he given me any of those yet? I don't think he's given me a
his first couple years were COVID shortened years, so he probably would have, but he didn't play as much. The last 3 seasons, he's played less games than Zion.
See, and that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done with him. And we might have seen the best of this Memphis team. Ron, let us get to the All-Star break, because I don't got Memphis making the playoffs. I got them on the outside looking in. Let us get to the All-Star break, and Memphis is teetering around that 9 to 11 space. I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis made a move and moved off of him.
Chill.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
They are ripping that up. I'm telling you right now. Jaren might be gone. Ja might be gone. They might just go ahead and just
blow the whole thing up, Ron.
Jaren?
Yeah, they just extended Jaren Jackson, so they'll continue to build around him.
Still trade him
and Zach Edey.
No, I'm not arguing that. It's interesting.
You build around Zach Edey?
Yes.
Zach Edey and Jalen Wills.
Hey man, go back to the old school. I'm here for it. Why not?
Yes. I know how you feel about Zach Edey, but I think Zach Edey's game, I think he's shown me this rookie season that with some work, his game translates to the pro game today. He's a lot more athletic than I gave him credit for. He gets up and down the floor. The fact that he can rebound and run, I mean, I really like that about Zach Edey. I think we got to put the other stuff in his game, and I think we can do that. But I think his game does translate to the pro game today. He's not one of those just guys who just stands on the box and you got to throw him the ball like just a big lurch down there. No, that's not him. But his game definitely translates.
And this is something that we've talked about before. Let's say they were in a hypothetical world. They were to trade Triple J and Ja. I don't think it would necessarily be to build around Zach Edey and Jalen Wills. I think it would more so be to build with them. So they would be complementary building blocks.
So they traded Desmond Bain, right, for KCP.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So they traded for championship role players, and then they're gonna just blow up their team to tank.
If you got the core guy, and the core guy, you recognize that we're not winning it with him. I mean, we just saw Dallas do it. We just saw Dallas do it. But they acted.
Because
most
of us agree that what Dallas did was stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, Dallas is still competitive though. They didn't trade the tank.
They got Anthony Davis. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, both these teams, according to Vegas, are 41.5. Both. They're supposed to be equal.
What team?
Memphis and Dallas.
Okay. Dallas is 41.5.
Makes sense. Kyrie's missing most of the year.
I think they're gonna win more than 41 games, though.
Y'all believe that?
Mm-hmm. I don't.
I don't know how
think
many
they're
they're
gonna
going to win, but
I mean,
saying a
when
team
you-
missing their best scorer is going to
when these odds makers lay
40
out these lists,
games.
they're factoring in predictable injury history. So they're probably banking on AD missing
could see
20,
that.
30. They're also probably banking on some tanking towards the end of the season. So if Dallas falls out of the race, this is an organization that has shown us time and time again they're willing to tank. Right? So I don't know.
But with the
At least now they have Cooper Flag. They have Cooper Flag, so they may not be able to sell victories, but they can sell some hope.
But if Dallas is under 500, do you know the type of things that are going to be said about that organization? It's already things that are being said, but they're able to
Ron,
salvage it a
how
little
much
bit.
worse?
Cooper
How much
Flag.
worse can things get? Yeah, how much worse?
That's what I'm saying.
I think everything that could have been said was said. In fact,
Sticks and
Yeah,
stones,
Ron,
I mean,
man.
it's just going to be elongated. Like people are still,
that's
it's gonna be leaked over from last season into this season.
W
But that's a
elongation.
But that's a glass half empty mentality, Ron. This team is built differently now. This team isn't built on a quote unquote heliocentric offense. I think this team is going to be predicated more on defense. This team is going to be predicated more on running the offense through Anthony Davis. I think D'Angelo Russell is going to be a lot better than what we give him credit for. I know how Ox feels about him, but I think he's going to be a lot better than what we give him credit for. And I think they're going to win a lot of their games, kind of like what Oklahoma City did last year. They're going to win a lot of their games on defense. I'm going to take the over on that 41. I think that this team is good
I
enough.
have a question for you. I don't know how much Cooper Flag you watched last year, but would you trade? I know this wasn't the trade, but would you trade Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic?
oh,
Would I trade him back? So if I'm
Yeah, let's
calling
just
up
say you have
those
Irish
guys-
remorse. You're like, hey, Luka, we saw your Men's Health magazine. You all right. I didn't know you could do that. So we're going to trade Anthony Davis and Cooper Flag back. Would you do it
No.
if you're Dallas? So Dallas is in a better position, technically. By the luck of God, they are by the luck of the NBA draft lottery gods, they are in a better position today than they
Sure,
were.
by the luck of the NBA
I
draft,
would
I
have done
won't-
that yesterday. So I mean,
Done what?
if God
Trade
has
is-
Mars
Cooper
is bringing
Flag
him.
and
Mars is
Anthony
bringing
Davis
him
to
back.
Luka.
I'm not doing it. No.
Man, what?
I don't think I would either.
This is very
That's fine.
interesting, Mars, because you are a basketball knower of great magnitude. There's the compliment followed by the insult. You want to trade Zion Williamson for Jalen Johnson, and now you want to trade Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. I don't think you properly value youth. I think you just value talent. I think you value
Jalen
talent above
Johnson is
everything.
like
Mars
a
is-
year.
Mars is
Jalen
on
Johnson
record.
is like a year younger than Zion.
Moss is on record saying that
Huh?
he cares about basketball players.
Jalen Johnson is like a year younger than Zion.
How old is
Like-
Jalen? He's 24, right?
He's about to turn 24 in like 2 months or something.
Are you telling me
Zion just
Zion
turned 25. Just
How
turned
the hell y'all
25,
be
like,
doing their
2 months
birthdays
ago.
like that?
I looked up.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
hell
like
of a memory.
23 and 251 days, so 3 months out from being.
Zion
That's
just
what
turned
we're in.
How old am I?
Okay, so
You used one January 96, so what? You just turned 29.
But given
half year
given
ago.
the injury history, given everything we
in the last 2 years, Zion has played more games than Jalen
you ever
Johnson.
heard of a biological age versus like a real age? Like your birth
In the last
certificate
2
might
years,
say
Zion has played
1994,
more.
but
I've heard of a
yeah.
different type of age, but we're not gonna get into that today.
Oh, Nigerian age?
Oh Lord, let's not
Proceed, Ben. Proceed.
let's
My bad.
not
I'm
launch
sorry.
into an
even
hour.
do it.
Sorry.
Nah,
Go ahead,
bro,
Ben.
nah, bro, we're
I
not
did
doing
not
that.
do it.
But there is such a thing as a biological age, right? It's like how fast is your body actually aging relative to how old you actually are. So yeah, I think the reason that I'm a little bit shocked that Zion is 25 is because he don't move like he's 25. He's not playing games like he's 25. Certainly, this is not what you like. Even with injury-prone stars, we usually get like 3-4 good years, man, and then they start to break down. Zion started to break down out of the gate. So I don't know.
So does that mean Embiid is older than
No,
biologically? older?
Embiid is a
Oh,
different
man.
case. First of all, I think Zion moves just fine. Second of
Yeah.
all, in the last 2 seasons, Zion has played
You
more
seen him
games
walk?
than Jalen Johnson.
You seen him walk?
Yes. Zion
He
has played more
waddles.
games in the. That's cool. Zion in the last 2 years has played more games than Jalen Johnson. Zion has played in 21, which was a COVID shortened season. He played 61 out of 72. In 2024, he played 70 games. So he's had 2 seasons playing high amount of games. Jalen Johnson has had 1. And he's drafted in 2020. Now, his first year, we can say he just wasn't in the rotation. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's only had one season cracking 70 games. Zion has been on pace to do that twice. So
Even as
Jalen
a
Johnson
rotation guy.
Jalen
as a
Johnson
rotation
isn't
guy.
the epitome of health. The year he played 70 games, he averaged 15 minutes. Last year, he played 36 games. The year before that, he played 56. He's not the epitome of health. And Zion clears him as a player. And
Yes,
there's
he
not
does.
much of an age. I don't get how me saying I would trade Zion for Jalen Johnson is this outlandish opinion. I'm trading for the better player who's a year older. And the availability isn't exactly night and day.
Are there more
I'm not-
questions with with that being said,
The
Mars?
only reason
I
there's more
think that
questions about Zion is
there's
because
more
he's more coachable. He's a better player. So we talk about him. Jalen
Right,
Johnson has been
and-
injury prone for a long time.
And
Now,
Jalen
these
Johnson
injuries-
only
and-
has
and-
one season too, and it was
But
it
also,
was
though-
it was
Yeah,
an
I really
season,
don't
too.
understand how I'm the one
Well,
that's reaching
I'm-
for saying, oh yeah, I would trade Jalen
I-
Johnson for Zion Williams.
Yeah,
The
I
reason,
don't
the
think
reason
you're
I say
reaching
this
at all.
because
Last
Jalen-
year, Jalen Johnson, potential all-star. He played 6 more games than Zion. Last year, and we're all bashing Zion. Oh my god, he still can't stay healthy.
well,
We were
clearly he's
praising
the better
Jalen
player, Mars.
Johnson
I'm
for
not gonna
last year,
argue
and he
that
played
point.
6 more games.
And
Yes,
he didn't
clearly
and he
he's the
didn't
better-
have as good of a season as Zion.
And he wasn't as good as Zion when he played.
like he just
I
wasn't.
know, and
It's just
I
a
don't think
different
anybody.
standard that you hold people to.
But wait a minute, though, Mars. Is it with him being out of the lineup? Because we know how injuries are. Because a lot of these injuries are like with Zion, for example, with a hamstring injury. It's legit. Like with Jalen Johnson, some of those injuries might be them holding him out of the lineup. Some of those injuries might not be as bad as
Atlanta were trying to compete more than New Orleans would. Why would they keep him out? But New Orleans.
Was really Atlanta trying to compete more with Zion and Brandon Ingram? I'm not sure about that, Mars.
They
That part I'm
traded
not
Brandon
sure
Ingram,
about.
And Brandon Ingram was
Well,
hurt
they
this
traded Brandon Ingram this season,
And
that just
Herb
passed,
Jones
but
was
I'm
hurt
talking
this
about. Yeah, well,
They
this
traded
season,
Brandon
sure, I
Ingram in
can
the
get
middle of
that.
the season. No, they traded.
Well, the
Brandon
year
Ingram in the middle.
last year he played 70 games when they were trying to compete. He was playing.
I'm just thinking about Jalen Johnson in the past in Atlanta. Those injuries, the injuries that Zion's had, those injuries have been magnified because those are legit injuries. This is going to keep me out for 10 games. This is going to keep me out for 20 games.
What is
stuff
his
like
what
that.
is his injury though? Like, what's his real injury?
That's what I'm
Who,
talking about with
Zion?
Jalen Johnson. Like
Yeah,
the
was
things that he
Zion.
has going on are
I'll
these
have
things
to
that are
look what
nagging
his most recent
injuries.
injury was.
no.
Jalen Johnson tore his labrum. I think he had to get
So
surgery.
his shoulder.
Yeah, that's a
So-
serious injury. That's why. That's why
Like Jalen Johnson has been injury prone.
We don't
It's
even
just
know.
no one
Zion-
cares because he was a 20th pick, and in which by the way, I think Jalen Johnson should have gone lottery. I was very high on him in the draft, but Jalen Johnson has been injury prone. Jalen Johnson is not as good as Zion. Jalen Johnson has missed more games in the last 2 years than Zion has.
Okay. So
explain to me
Jalen
why
Johnson.
I'm insane. for
Okay,
making that
Zion, lower body injury, lower body injury, lower body injury, lower body
Okay.
injury. It's a lot of lower body injuries attached to a 25-year-old. Okay, 25. Congratulations. He's 25 years old, very young. But he's going to be making $45 million in a couple of years. Okay. So that matters to the Atlanta Hawks, who clearly structured Jalen Johnson's deal to be 30 million flat every single year.
Okay.
They have him. I would argue Jalen is a much better defender. Much better defender.
He is.
And it's not that close between those two. I think Zion is a way better athlete, way better offensive talent. And obviously, if Zion was healthy, this is a no-brainer. But you are talking about paying 50% more for what I believe to be possibly the more wild card player in this situation with all the off-court distractions, there's a weight clause in one of these contracts, bro. That's the part that worries me. And in terms of just as an
Zion
asset,
was in good shape last year, so
He
obviously-
said he also said
so
he also
obviously
said that he
listened
would
to the
play.
weight clause.
Yeah, he also said he would play if it was up to him. So
Yeah, he had his
I'm
injury
hearing
that
that.
kept him out
But
last year was a back
you've
injury. It wasn't
mentioned a
lower
few
body
times
injury.
that Jalen Johnson is very injury prone. So I want to take you through his injury history. Health protocols 2021. So that's COVID. 3 games missed to an ankle, 3 games missed to a concussion, 1 game missed to an ankle, 7 games missed for a hamstring, 14 games missed for a wrist, 3 games for an ankle, 6 games for an ankle, 3 games for an ankle, 1 game for a leg, 1 game for a shoulder, 1 game for a shoulder, 6 games for a shoulder, and 38 games for a shoulder. I'm not seeing the same thing popping up over and over. Achilles tightness, left knee soreness, torn ACL. Like, I'm not seeing the same predictable. Like, I'm not a doctor, but if I'm looking at this and one player has this consistent history of lower body injuries and they are an athlete that has had major weight issues, and they happen to be a player that is signed on an escalating deal, and I already got one of those guys, and I might have to pay one more at some point. I'm sorry. I think Jalen
But I
Johnson's
feel
the
like-
better
but-
asset. The fact
but I
that you
also feel
said you would do it, like, I don't know what the exact words were, but you made it seem like it's an immediate. No, you would have to
I
think
said I would happily do it.
happily. Yeah. If you do it, in my opinion, is because you're desperate. because you think Zion is that big a talent upgrade and you're willing to roll the dice, but you're also getting rid of Kristaps Porzingis in this situation. And I think
Well,
KP.
we're not getting rid of Porzingis. I'm getting rid of Jalen
Oh
Johnson.
shit, that's true. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but my
We
thing is,
said KP
Penn, my thing is, all the injuries you named for Zion just sound like a bunch of bullshit. Like, what is right?
Oh, no,
next
he
to
read
it?
off Jalen. He read off Jalen Johnson's injuries.
I know, I'm saying, but he
in-
said
Zion's
knee
injuries in the
soreness
last
for one
few
of
years
them.
is like hamstrings and that's
Yeah,
it,
but
really.
I think New Orleans was just tanking. Like Zion said, if it was up to him, he would play.
Yeah, he had a
said
bone bruise. He had a bone bruise in his back. He could have played, but
Yeah,
like not right away.
I don't
but
know
obviously, like, he
what
wouldn't
is
have been fine.
what is Zion's major injury that he's really had. Like, what is his
When he
major
came in, it was the foot injury,
Okay,
Right.
and then once he hurt his hamstring in the
it was Mariah Mills.
or not the in-season tournament. When he hurt his hamstring in the playing game, he dealt with
He
some
messed his
hamstring
back
issues.
up.
He hurt his hamstring for a while after that.
Hold on, Mars.
But
That
then
was
from that
conspiracy. He
point
was
on, it
killing
a
the Lakers.
bad move.
That was a conspiracy. He was killing the Lakers. And
Call it what
then
you want, but
the black
it's a
truck
foot
called and he went to the locker
injury
room.
it's a foot injury and a hamstring injury that have been
Knee,
the lower
ankle,
body concern
personal
ones.
reconditioning, knee, health and safety protocols, toe, thumb, finger, foot, hip, foot,
That
health
sounds a
and
lot
safety
better than
protocol,
Jalen Johnson.
reconditioning, hamstrings. I'm only at 2023, bro. Rest,
Reconditioning is he.
personal, rest,
Reconditioning is just
ankle,
Like, that's-
illness,
like,
quad, rest, quad, foot,
What does
Foot,
reconditioning mean,
foot,
Mom? I mean, bro.
foot,
What does that even mean?
finger, hamstring.
It's no way you
Innocent
miss a
time,
game because
innocent
your finger
time.
hurt. Like, it's no way you miss a
hamstring,
game unless
hamstring,
you DeAndre Ayton because your
illness,
finger hurt.
rest, personal back, bro.
Penn, I'm sorry though.
What?
Like reading some of these off, a lot of this is organizational.
Like,
You
it's
can't
clearly
tell
foolish.
It's not.
Oh my god.
You can't.
Reconditioning
I
finger.
believe if he played for a more competitive organization and if he played for a more professional organization, I do believe he will be playing through a lot more of these things. He will be in better conditioning. He
So
will
they
be in
broke
better
his
shape.
finger. They broke
No
his finger. They were
basketball
like,
player is
hey,
gonna miss the
nothing
game
said he
because
had a
his finger
broke
hurt.
finger.
you're not living up to your
Nothing said
contract.
he
We're
had a
gonna
broke
snap
finger.
your finger.
Nothing
No-
said he had a broke finger. It said
Nobody-
he was out for a finger injury. You know how
Right,
many people
Ron.
played through
Ron,
finger
you
injuries?
played basketball before. Eric, you played
But
no
both of my pinkies
basketball
is broke.
player
Look,
is
I
missing
can't
a
even
game
straighten
because
my
their finger
pinky
hurt.
out.
No,
Look,
but no basketball
I
player is
can't
really
straighten
doing
it
that.
out. Both of them.
Yeah, I got the same problem.
Yeah, like no basketball player is missing the game because they finger hurt. I promise you that.
You tape your finger and you go.
Especially a pro basketball player.
Like, no, you're not missing the game because your finger hurt.
Especially a
That's
basketball
crazy.
player
No,
that
but
don't got
I
to dribble and
also-
shoot. All you got to do is slam.
I also think it's like because when you was reading off Jalen Johnson's injury, you was like he missed 2 games for an ankle, 1 game for whatever, and then you just rattled off all of Zion's injuries as if like they were all long term. A lot of these are him just missing a game and then playing the next one.
I also
Which is the same
listed
thing
out
with That's what I
Jalen
thought about
Johnson.
with
Like, it's the
rest,
exact same
Jalen
thing.
Johnson
Like, it's the
hit,
exact
like,
same
1
thing.
game. I
Except
also
Jalen
did
Johnson
that.
had 30 game.
Yeah, but you didn't do it for Zion. Is my point. Like I'm reading all of these foot injuries. He misses the game and he comes back and plays the next one. Then he
He scored
plays,
30,
then
right?
he doesn't play another
He
one.
scored
Like
30.
his foot injury in 2024, which is where you got foot. It's literally him just missing 1 game at a time. But you just ignored that to make it seem like Zion was just dealing with a bunch of injuries. When really and truly, it was just them being
But
precautionary.
they were days
and not
and
playing
days
Zion a
apart.
bunch of
Hold
games.
on. Do you
Yeah,
understand? how
because
injured-
they were
you
load. They
underst-
were load managing.
Well.
Oh my
okay.
god, he played 70 games that year.
Oh my
and you
god,
read off 12 foot
you're load
injuries.
managing a 24-year-old Mars.
He
24-year-old.
This- I want everyone to be aware.
Mariah
This is
Mills is hard
the,
to
the
deal with.
year with all of those foot injuries. Zion played 70 games.
Uh-huh.
He read off all of those foot injuries, meaning Zion was missing 1 game at a time. And Penn is trying to convince me that this is a proof of being injury prone as opposed to being organizationally
He
precautious.
missed 44 games for a knee injury, 82 games.
Okay, I'm talking about the
injury,
foot injuries that you read
45
off.
Well, I was trying to be funny, bro. I'm not gonna be like,
Oh, my bad. I didn't see the humor. My fault. My bad.
Yo, Penn,
Nah,
I do want to ask you though,
It went over my
because
head.
since you're saying no for Atlanta trading for him, right? Not
Hell
necessarily
no.
no for. So if you're Atlanta, okay. So what do you think is Zion's value right now? Like what team do you think and what caliber player would say yes, I'll take on Zion? Because I'm pretty sure if you're New Orleans, you would take just about anything.
I'm pretty sure
any
Toronto
young
would take
asset.
him in a heartbeat.
I think you're
Would Toronto take him?
no.
Definitely.
What? Hell no.
What the hell we doing?
No.
No.
Not a
So
chance.
chill. So who would want? So nobody wants Zion.
No,
is
I
what you
didn't
guys?
say
No,
that.
I ain't saying that. No,
I did not say
So
that.
what is his value? What would you guys be? You are the GM of another franchise other than New Orleans.
I think
what would you be willing to give up to get Zion?
I think you have to be a contender, and he has to be your final piece. I think you also have to be a contender with a short timeline. So I'm looking at teams like
Dallas?
Maybe Dallas. Dallas could be a team that could look into it. They have some salaries. They could, they wouldn't have to move off of Cooper Flagg or Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving.
PJ Washington and Lively?
Lively, hell no. But Gafford and Washington and maybe a couple seconds could get you through. I could see it for a team that has an aggressive timeline and they can roll the dice. I'm not signing up for Zion if I got Zach Risache and Jalen Johnson on my watch, and if this Trae Young thing doesn't work out, I got to blow it up and move
Johnson
around.
Is not nowhere near the player Zion is. Like
I agree with you. I'm not putting him in that. Look, I'm on record saying I think Zion is a top 10 talent in the league. When he's healthy, he's amazing.
Yeah, but they become title contenders with Zion.
But there's baggage here, man.
But that's the price you pay when you're paying for a title. Like instantly, Atlanta become title contenders with Zion.
In this East,
Zion Williamson is like your microphone. Okay, early in this episode, for real. Like it's just like you really don't know, bro. But every day, you want to come into work every single day and you be like, I don't know if he's gonna pull out his back. I don't know if there's gonna be a scandal. I don't know.
And to Penn's point, Ron, a lot of this stuff with Zion. This is why, to your point, you're talking about GMs. Are they willing to roll the dice on him? A lot of this stuff with Zion is self-inflicted. So his injuries are because he didn't take care of himself. That's
because Mariah Wills weigh a lot.
All right. So should the Lakers have traded for Luka? All of his problems are self-inflicted. Should the Mavericks have traded for AD? All of his problems, I wouldn't say self-inflicted, but it's him breaking down. Like,
but the difference with
should nobody trade for Zion? I mean for Ja? Should nobody trade for LaMelo?
Well, the difference with Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis has shown you consistency in terms of being healthy. I mean, he did that when he was in New Orleans, right? He did show you that. That did go on. And he also, even though...
When he was in New Orleans?
Yes.
He
8 years ago?
He might have played some games in New Orleans, but a lot of them games, he went to the locker room for show.
Okay, and he came back and played.
He was going to the locker room every quarter. He go to the locker room and take a break every quarter.
He played 80% of the games when he was playing in New Orleans.
But that was 8 years ago.
Okay, so and when he was in Los Angeles, that 2 years, right, from after they won the NBA championship, those 2 years when he ended up getting hurt, right? I get that part. But then he got back on track. Right? He got back on track and he stayed and he stayed healthy. And then last year he ended up getting moved. And if you don't give up Anthony Davis for Luka, you're getting fired as a GM on the spot. That's happening. So I understand why they did it, but the point that I'm making is GMs looking at Zion Williamson and that kind of investment. Because again, Ron, we still owe this dude like $120 million, something like that, right? And a lot of his injuries, because of his health, that's where they come from. Because he got a lot of lower body injuries. So are we willing to take a chance on what it's going to cost to get him here? I mean, round picks I gotta give up.
What role does New Orleans play in this? First of all, if I have an athlete with weight issues, the last place on earth I want to put them is New Orleans because that food is amazing. Number one. Number two, I've heard a lot of stuff through the grapevine last year about Brandon Ingram and how much he was really miserable in that organization. He hated it. Dyson Daniels himself has said it's
Who said that?
I heard it through the grapevine.
Brandon Ingram said he
loves New Orleans. Organization is different story though. Okay, so I've heard some stuff. I mean, if you want to hit me up after, I could let you know what my sources are on that. But like, he was not happy and he wanted to leave. So we got Dyson Daniels saying the organization basically cursed, right? And we are seeing players get better. How would Dyson Daniels know? Because he was there.
Yeah, but he wasn't there for that long to know what's like. How the Pelicans
two and a half 2 years plus. Like that's enough. 2 years. Jordan, that's 700 plus days, bro.
Sound like
but what does he mean cursed? Like, as in what?
Maybe he's looking at their facilities. Maybe he's looking at how they deal with players. Maybe he's looking at their medical staff. Maybe he's looking at how cheap that front office is. In terms of how
he came in with that opinion 2 years of being there.
Sounds like one or more reasons to why you do trade for Zion, because you just bet on your organization being what's the words?
Just better.
Not cursed, I
competent.
guess.
Competent. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just bet on your if New Orleans is cursed, you just bet on yourselves being competent. Now you have healthy Zion. Even more reason to trade for him.
Yeah,
And
I'm not buying this. If I'm one of these organizations, I'm 100% shaking the dice and taking a chance on Zion. You got a guy who can. I know it's a big if he can stay healthy, he will turn your franchise around. You got a guy who is a 25 point per game night, potentially more, and he's
Shooting
doing
by
it
damn near 70% from the field. Shit.
He's the most efficient guy in the league. I'm saying, like,
Ron, where does it work though? So Ron, run down some does it work in Cleveland?
Chill. Zion is a guy you could drop anywhere.
What do we have to give up in Cleveland to get Zion?
Hey, y'all to be mad at me. Darius Garland to be gone.
Shit.
Bye.
Cleveland.
See ya.
Like going to Cleveland for what?
I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm giving up Zion. I already know about the Celtics. With the Knicks, what is it going to cost us to get Zion in here? And does it work? Like if I get
it don't work in New York.
That's what I was thinking, Jordan. I don't think it works.
Jalen Brunson don't pass the ball enough. It don't work in New York.
In Milwaukee, it doesn't work neither.
The thing about Zion, he a guy though where you don't have to draw up plays for him. You don't have to.
You need the ball though.
He's gonna get it.
He does need the ball.
He gonna get the ball's gonna get swung, and it's gonna end up in
gonna
Zion's
find Zion.
Yeah, it's gonna. He's just one of the players.
You gotta ask Jalen Brunson to change.
He's just. I don't think you do.
Mike Brown gonna ask him to change anywhere.
Mike Brown gonna get fired for like his 8th time in his career again.
It works in Detroit, Mars. I can tell you that. I love him in Detroit.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Yes, it definitely.
But the only thing is, chill. Goddamn, Jalen Duran gonna be on that damn pit too damn much. They're gonna be barbecue every goddamn day.
Jalen Duran and Zion to get busy, and not to mention what Kate Cunningham and Zion to do. That is all right.
The best fit for him is either in Charlotte or it's in Atlanta. Though I think that's the two best fits for him, or playing with Ja. Somewhere playing with Ja.
I would put him in a more veteran organization. I would put him in a more veteran organization that has stable leadership. I think
y'all harping on way too much of what Zion did on like outside of the basketball, and it's really not that serious.
That doesn't matter though, Jordan. That does
it matters when you're not winning.
What about Golden State?
What about
Golden State?
Like he got a girlfriend. Yay! What are we talking about? Like it's not that serious.
I do kind of agree with that.
Like it's not that serious. Like why do y'all want to make it seem like this man is just constantly getting in trouble? Like he young. It's not that serious. It's really not.
He does have.
He plays for a bad organization that's been stuck in places that that they shouldn't be in. He go to another organization. It should be better. Like why is that so hard to fathom?
Jordan, I have
which I was about to ask you, Penn. Penn, what if we went to South Beach and I gave him the ball?
That'd be great.
Going to Miami.
That'd be great. Who are you trading though? Andrew Wiggins and
that's the thing I'm thinking about. What would we
Tyler
have to give up in order to get him down here?
Would you trade Tyler Hero for him?
Yes, I would do that. Yes. 100%.
If you're Miami, you would trade it?
Yes, I would do that.
That's interesting. I mean, shoot, like Bam and him as a front court. I think you got to look at it. The ideal destination for him is an organization with strong leadership, which Miami has, between Spo and allegedly, Pat Riley's still there. He's there's something there, and I think a team in the East could really maximize him. So I understand what Mars is saying. The more I've thought about it over the last 25 minutes, I kind of understand what you're saying with Atlanta. If they really do think they're chasing a championship, trading Kristaps and maybe a pick, maybe not that pick, but a couple picks, even a pick, could make some sense because it could propel you. And there's really not a lot of players in the East who can deal with Zion. And it does put you in a different category. Whereas in the West, he's just another guy. I think he's a great guy, but in the East, he could be like, if Embiid is out, is he like the third best player in the East? Fourth, third, second?
Let's say he plays 65 games.
If Zion plays 65 games, let's just use your hypothetical. Let's put Zion in Miami. So he's there. Let's say we do the trade tomorrow, right? We make this happen. He spends the entire training camp with them.
Season, sure.
In the East, if he plays 65 games, who's he worse than? Greek Freak, he worse one.
Yeah.
That's
Giannis, Cat.
Cat is not better than Zion.
I don't think Cat's better than Zion.
I definitely think he is.
I'm not going to get convinced of that.
He's not the second name I'm going to.
Is he better than Paolo?
Shit.
I think he's better than Paolo. If he's healthy, he's better than Paolo, Franz, Scotty. He's better than Ingram, obviously.
Is
You say he's better than Scotty?
He's better than Jaylen Brown.
Yes.
If he's healthy.
Pause. We're taking Drenchy. We're taking out injuries. This dude is fine.
We're turning
injuries better than Paolo?
Yes.
Yes. Easily. Whoa.
I think it's very close. I'm not going to say easily. I think it's
not
very
that close. He's better than
I don't care if people think it's close or not. I know I'm comfortable saying I think Zion's better.
Very young. So. He's better than Pascal Siakam.
What's moving you with Zion? What's moving you with Zion in Paolo?
He's so insanely talented, Chill. You cannot stop.
And so is Paolo. And bigger.
He is insane. They are both insanely talented.
Check their efficiency. Check their efficiency, yo. Like one of these. Not as this is not close. And per Mars's earlier point, Zion's 25, and he's missed a ton of time, so he could still get better. So like the skill set is developed.
Paolo is 22.
Paolo's 22. So
I'm not.
I just became drinking age.
Look,
he did just become drinking.
If Zion is healthy. If Zion's healthy, locked in, motivated, and in a good situation, there aren't two players in the Eastern Conference better than him.
You hold on.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tatum and Embiid obviously being hurt. That's the reason.
Yes,
100%.
Yes.
If they're fully healthy, I think he's fourth.
Yes, I think that's fair.
What about Cade?
Cade is fair. Cade is fair.
No.
I probably have Zion. I don't know.
Zion,
but Cade is fair.
For sure.
So.
Zion for sure.
I'm not on the for sure side of things, but.
Well, if Cade becomes way better as a jump shooter and a finisher, then okay, fine, Cade, because he gives you more consistent.
Why does he have to make that jump though? Like, why does he have to be way better as a jump shooter and as a finisher? Because Zion isn't way better as a jump shooter.
Because
he's a great finisher.
High volume scorers who score at the efficiency of Zion, who can distribute like Zion, who can put pressure on the defense and command double teams and actually read those double teams and dissect those double teams the way Zion can. Don't grow on trees. He's the only guy in the league who can do it.
Cade at his level. Double dude at 6'8".
Who?
Cade was almost a double guy.
Yeah, you saying Cade?
Yes.
Well, first of all, 6'6". Second of all, no. He's like when we're talking about finishing in the most efficient zone, which is the paint. Zion is so far above the players you're talking about, Paolo, Cade, whatever. Those guys are not close to that level of efficiency. His touch around the basket is next level. So again, that's kind of the sad part. Like the issue with Ja and Zion, like two guys who've been talked about as face of the league. It's never been talent. It's never been that. It's just them. It's their personality, it's the off-court stuff. It's the discipline. It's that stuff. But to the point of, like, I have non-negotiables with players.
Yeah.
One of my non-negotiables is if there is a 1% chance that I believe that you could show up to camp out of shape, I don't want you on my team. 1%. That's all I need. I'm not rolling the dice on that shit. I can't do that. Everything else you can work with.
To your point, in terms of finishing, what's the gap between Zion finishing and Paolo finishing?
Massive.
Is it close?
No.
Because Paolo's really good around the rim.
Chill. I'll take your question. I'll raise you a question. What was the finishing gap between Shaquille O'Neal and Eric Dampier? Yeah.
Don't put the Eric Dampier on Paolo.
Same.
Yeah,
Eric Dampier is crazy.
I think Paolo's a much better finisher than you give him credit for.
Paolo's a very good finisher. Zion is so much better. Like Zion is Mars. Would it be fair to say Zion's a top 3 paint finisher in the league?
Giannis, and is it still Bron to this day?
I was about to say James.
Probably.
Yeah, is it still him?
Yeah, probably.
I was about to say James.
And I don't mean paint finishers like Kai Jones. I'm not talking about Kai Jones and the Derek Liveys of the world. I'm talking about guys who start their offense outside the paint and end up at the paint. Drivers, rim pressure, those guys. Zion is
like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's my Anthony Edwards.
Zion.
He's top 2.
And then you
I probably go Giannis and then Zion.
I think that
Zion different.
I think that maybe you guys are misconstruing where I'm at with Zion. I think Zion, when he's if I can get a healthy Zion, like 5 years of him, and I'm on record saying this, Drenchy, I think we'd be talking about him like we talk about Luka, like how we talk about the best players in the game.
Yes.
I think we'd be talking about him like that because I think he's that good. I do. Here's the difference.
Don't forget 2 seasons ago, he played 70 games. I know he played 30 last year. 2 seasons ago, he played 70 games. Now, it was his numbers were down compared to all the rest of his seasons. But once again, he played 70 games.
2 seasons ago, that was in 23.
And efficiency was still there.
2023-24 season, the year Boston won the championship. He played 70 games. And this year, he dealt with a hamstring injury at the beginning of the season. And then after that, it wasn't really like injuries for like he got an illness, he missed some games. Then they were just very precautious because they sucked. But Zion, like he missed 2 months. It's a big deal. He missed 2 months. But outside of those 2 months he missed, it was just New Orleans being very precautious. Like 30 games, I think, undersells how healthy he actually was this year. Right. But I'm also not dismissing the 2 months he did miss. Like that's a big deal. But because they sucked in that time, there was no need for Zion to play the rest of the season. So
and chill, like again, you mentioned his rebounding. I will argue, defensive rebounding has never been strong point, but offensive rebounding,
which blows my mind with him. But he's great on the offensive glass. He's great on the offensive glass.
He's great at getting to the line.
He gets out and runs in transition.
So again, I don't want to nerdify basketball here, but what are 3 of the most important things you can do on a basketball court? Get to the line, get to the front of the rim, finish efficiently when you're there, and get extra possessions. He does those 3 things at such an elite rate. That's what makes him so special. It's weird. Jokic does those 3 things very well too. You know what I mean?
One of the better ball handlers.
Michael Jordan did those 3 things very well too. It is actually a pretty consistent. LeBron does those 3 things very well too. Like it's pretty consistent when it comes to great players. They do those 3 things extremely well.
Joy way.